Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? Today we're going to go over how to draw Jason Voorhees, the mask. We're going to go over it kind of step by step. We're using a pencil though. It's going to be a little bit, it's going to be really long. This is for beginners though, so if you're a beginner, stick around. But this is going to be longer. It's going to be a little bit more realistic. I'm using a 4B graphic pencil. And I'm going to be using the eraser off of this, what do you call it? This mechanical pencil. That's pretty much it, so stick around, pay attention, let's get going. So I'm going to start out with a circular shape, and that's for the skull, kind of the skull, the cranial part of the head. And I'm going to pull that. I'm going to draw pretty light, by the way, so it's going to be hard to see at first, but I'll get into that rather fast. And I'm going to pull down the jaw area, more or less just kind of like extending it downward. Maybe about halfway, like if you were to split this ball in half, it's like another half added on for the jaw. So I'm going to try to get my positioning down. The most important thing is proportion to start off with, and that's kind of what you're going to build into. I'm going to start with the circle of the mask. And they're really just circles. They're a little bit angular because you're going over, they are kind of representing, you know, the eye socket shape, you know, I guess within hockey. So there's a little bit of a squared shape to them. They're not totally round, but some versions they are totally round. This one I'm not going to do that. Putting that downward arrow he has in his mask. And it's going to be a curvature to kind of the nose area. And I'm just going to mark that. I'm not going to quite put that in yet. And then he has a certain amount of these holes, right? They're meant for breathing in hockey, but... So, there's a reason for that. If you were to take like a coin, for example, if you were to take... Let's just say a rounded form like this, right? This is some Yoshi thing I have. I just took it right off my desk. It's like a coin shaped. And that's the way that hole is shaped. Now, because it's on the side of his head, it's going backwards in space all of a sudden. Because you have the front plane of the temple, and then of the of the forehead right here, and then it goes back here to the side of the temple. So you have the front. If you were to lay this down on his face, it'd be like this, round. But if you were to lay it down on his temple, it would be kind of it would be a different shape, and you would draw it differently. You draw it more like an ellipse because it's flat against the side of his temple. Hopefully that was a quick little. Hopefully you understand that. So the circles on the side will be coin shaped, usually. And he has a few more. And in all honesty, I know some people are really anal about that, but you don't really need to be that anal about it, I don't think. There's one on the nose. Six down the face. They're kind of all over the place, really. And I'll go on to the other ones in a bit here. And then you have the arrows on the side of his face here, on both sides. And we can even those out. So right now what I have, and there's also a strap that straps from the top part of his head. So right now what I have right here is a layout of where things are going to go. So that's kind of the most important part. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to erase some lines I don't need, just a few. And like I said, I'm going to darken this more so you can see it through the camera. So now I'm going to go into the darks. And the obvious ones would be right here in the eye. I'm going to use the side of the pencil to just kind of get that in as fast as I can. I don't have to refine it yet. I'm just getting the darks in. And what I want is I want the light source to come from the bottom up. Think about one light source, especially for, you know, kind of movie monsters and things like that. Usually it's one light source. Usually it's coming from above, right? The sun, artificial light. But right here I want it to come from below to make it look more menacing. And there's been many, many shots of Jason with that. And so if the light source, for example, is coming from down below, it's gonna roll over. The darkness is gonna be on his forehead. That's where the dark is gonna be. So a lot of the darkness is gonna be in this area right here. So I'm not gonna refine it, but I'm just putting down a light value. It's also gonna be above the nose in this area. Maybe connecting the eyes a little bit, but not too dark. And maybe a little bit on the side here. So now I have an idea of where my shadow is going to be. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to go in to kind of this with what I know. I'm going to go in here to this. I'm going to go actually to this one right here. Eye socket first. And I'm going to try to slowly figure out that shape. And I'm going to darken it quite a bit so that it'll be a little bit more permanent. It's cool because the hockey mask looks so much like a kind of a skull shape anyway. Because, you know, made for the face, it makes sense. Alright, so I'm going to go in right here and I'm actually going to darken out everything and slowly bring it up. The only thing I'm really doing right now is kind of darkening and like little tiny fixes around corners. If you do like this, the way I'm teaching, if you like it more than maybe like some of the other ones, please hit that like button so I know that kind of how to teach stuff going forward. Would you like me to have these long videos where I do kind of talk about almost everything that I'm doing, or would you like shorter, kind of like bite-sized ones? Just let me know about that in the comments. I'll reply back to everything, and it helps me out. And I'm gonna be posting about once a week here, different horror characters and more. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this channel pretty active. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on fast forward and just darken things, or else this is gonna be forever. So let me do that now. Okay, so at this point I just kind of darkened up what was going on, like just different pieces of the actual like mask. I think some dots are a little bit weird, but I had to cheat it for space here. Like that hole should be over there, but it's not, you know, I'm not gonna be too picky about it. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with the actual shadow in the shadows and try to darken that up and beef that up. So let me go into that. Anyways, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you guys like this teaching style, like I said, hit that like button, share the video. Also, what's even better than this is I have a free, what do you call it? A free how to shade ebook that I'm going to put in the description, okay? It's going to be in the description. It's totally free. It's pretty much just made to kind of just like read quickly, and you should be able to shade from that if you apply it. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.